Hello. Please hit like button and subscribe my channel. Also press bell icon for future video notifications. Thanks.
Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, no run. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, much fuller and at the stumps. Brandon King solidly gets behind the line and keeps it out. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, good length delivery around off and angling in. Brandon King hangs back to block but gets it from the inner part and goes onto the pads. Lungi Ngidi to Kyle Mayers, foolish delivery and outside off. Kyle Mayers leans and slices it down to third man for a run. Lungi Ngidi to Kyle Mayers, 6. Bang! Lungi Ngidi goes short this time and outside off. It sits up nicely for the batter. Kyle Mayers swivels in his crease and pulls it well over deep square leg for a biggie. Lungi Ngidi to Kyle Mayers, 4. Length delivery around off. Kyle Mayers gets into a good position and lofts it back over the bowler's head for a boundary. Wayne Parnell to Brandon King, fuller this time and outside off. Brandon King is tempted by the whip and goes for the drive but does not connect. Wayne Parnell to Brandon King, back of a length again and angling across on off. Brandon King defends but gets an outside edge. He went with soft hands and hence the edge does not carry to wide first slip. Wayne Parnell to Brandon King, back of a length and angling in on leg. Brandon King looks to clip but misses and gets hit on the thigh pad. Wayne Parnell to Brandon King, 4. Classy. Full in at the stumps. Brandon King picks the length early and presents a full face of the bat. Drives it back past the bowler for a boundary. Wayne Parnell to Kyle Mayers, back of a length outside off. Kyle Mayers stays back and runs it down to third man for a run. Wayne Parnell to Kyle Mayers, a loud shout for LBW but turned down. Fuller this time and on middle. Kyle Mayers goes for the drive but gets an inside edge onto his pad. Wayne Parnell appeals but the umpire is unmoved. Aiden Markram isn't convinced enough and they opt not to review. Wayne Parnell to continue. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, brilliant review from Brandon King. Lungi Ngidi bowls this one on a good length on middle. The ball jags back in sharply after pitching. Brandon King stays back to defend but does not account for the sharp inward movement. The ball catches him on the back leg and in front of the stumps. South Africa go up in unison and the umpire raises the finger. Brandon King is convinced and he goes for the review. The ultra edge shows no bat but it is missing the stumps on ball tracking. Brandon King survives as the on-field decision is overturned. Don't miss anything. Subscribe to our newsletter and get all the stories that matter delivered to your inbox. Invalid id. Please enter again. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, 4. Goes searching for swing and bowls it full and wide outside off. Brandon King gets the width he needs and thrashes this one over point for a boundary. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, beauty. Lungi Ngidi pitches this one on a good length in the channel outside off. Brandon King gets forward to defend but gets beaten by the away movement. Lungi Ngidi to Kyle Mayers, leg by. Back of a length this time and tailing in on leg. Kyle Mayers looks to flick but gets hit on the thigh. The ball rolls behind square on the leg side and batters cross. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, lands it on a length and shaping away, just outside off. Brandon King steers it down to third man for a run. Lungi Ngidi to Kyle Mayers, back of a length and angling in on leg. Kyle Mayers turns this one down to fine leg for a single. Wayne Parnell to Brandon King, 4. Strays onto the pads on a length. Brandon King rolls his wrists and glances it through square leg for his third boundary. Wayne Parnell to Brandon King, full and drifting in on leg. Brandon King pushes with a straight bat to mid-on. Wayne Parnell to Kyle Mayers. Kyle Mayers is underway. Pitches it full and outside off. Kyle Mayers gets to the pitch of the delivery and drives it through extra cover. There is a yes-no situation in the middle for the second run. Wayne Parnell collects the throw and hits at the non-striker's end, but Kyle Mayers is safely in. Wayne Parnell to Kyle Mayers, serves it fuller in length and going away outside off. Kyle Mayers gets forward and lets it be. Wayne Parnell to Kyle Mayers, wide. Another loose delivery, this time swinging way outside off. Kyle Mayers flashes but misses. Wayne Parnell to Kyle Mayers, wide. Loses his radar and sprays it down the leg side. Kyle Mayers lets the ball pass and the umpire signals a wide. Wayne Parnell to Kyle Mayers, bowls it on a length on off. Kyle Mayers taps this one to mid-wicket for a dot. Wayne Parnell to Kyle Mayers, begins on a good length and moving away outside off. Kyle Mayers covers his off stump and leaves the ball alone. Wayne Parnell to share the attack. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, 4. Back-to-back boundaries for Brandon King. Lands it full and wide outside off. Brandon King throws his hands at the ball and carves it over point for yet another boundary. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, 4. Brandon King and West Indies are underway. Length delivery around off by Lungi Ngidi. Brandon King stands tall and drives it on the up. Gets it through extra cover for a boundary. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, on a length and outside off. Brandon King does not chase the delivery and lets it pass. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, much fuller this time and straighter as well, just outside off. Brandon King looks to drive down the ground but gets beaten on the outside edge. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, keeps it on a good length in the channel outside off. Brandon King lets the ball go through to the keeper. Lungi Ngidi to Brandon King, starts with a good length delivery, shaping away outside off. Brandon King shoulders arms and leaves the ball alone. We are all set for the game to begin. Both sides have lined up for their respective national anthems. First, it is the national anthem of the West Indies, followed by the national anthem of South Africa. The players take their respective positions on the field. Kyle Mayers and Brandon King will start for the West Indies. Lungi Ngidi comes to bowl. Here we go. West Indies playing 11, Brandon King, Kyle Mayers, Shamad Brooks, Shai Hope, W.C., Nicholas Pooran, Roman Powell, Jason Holder, Akil Hossain, Odin Smith, Alzarri Joseph, Yannick Carrier. No changes for us. We would have liked to bat actually. It looks a good pitch and will stay good throughout. I'm trying to build some partnerships in the middle. We struggled to do so in the past. We are stepping in the right direction and hope to continue. Yeah, definitely, on enjoying captaincy. West Indies skipper Shai Hope. South Africa playing 11, Ryan Rakelton, Tony de Zossi, Rassie van der Dussen, Aiden Markram, C, Heinrich Klaasen, W, David Miller, Wayne Parnell, Bjorn Fortan, Marco Jansen, Gerald Coetzee, Lungi Ngidi. We will bowl first. There will be early help for the bowlers and we would like to exploit it. Temba has a hamstring issue. He has had a great summer. Don't want to push him too much. Unfortunately, the first OD was washed out. The plan is to give all the guys a go and widen the pool in the lead up to the World Cup. No points in this series, so now is a good chance to try different things. We have 4 changes. South Africa stand-in captain Aiden Markram. South Africa have won the toss and have opted to field. Hello and welcome to the live coverage of the third OD between South Africa and West Indies. Shai Hope, the skipper of West Indies, starts by informing that they are going with the same team as the last. Adds that they wanted to bat first anyway since runs on the board are important. Feels that they need to build partnerships during the middle overs. Shares that it is good to have confidence in the side and hopes that they can get over the line in this game. ends by saying that he is enjoying captaining the side. Aiden Markram, the stand-in skipper of South Africa, says that they will bowl first. Adds that there is a bit of grass so it will be good to bat second. He mentions the 4 changes and says that they will look to level the series. Ends by saying that they will give their best and win this game. West Indies, unchanged playing 11, Kyle Mayers, Brandon King, Sharmad Brooks, Shai Hope, CWK, Nicholas Puran, Rovman Powell, Jason Holder, Odin Smith, Yannick Karaya, Akil Hossain, Alzarri Joseph. South Africa, playing 11, Ryan Rakelton, WK, Tony Dazorzi, Rassie van der Dussen, Aiden Markram, C, in for Temba Bavuma, Heinrich Klaasen, in for Quinton de Kock, David Miller, in for Tristan Stubbs, Marco Jansen, Wayne Parnell, in for Tabraiz Shamsi, Bjorn Fortuin, Gerald Coetzee, Lungi N. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more sports updates.